Okay, so this roundtable is about electronic devices being implemented at school, specifically in classrooms. So Diego is going to start with his thesis, and we're going to move on with the next one.
Okay, the use of electronic devices in the classroom is detrimental to the student's education. However, it is not viable to ban these cell phones. So the teachers need to be engaging enough with their students so as to prevent them from feeling the urge to use these cell phones. And it is also necessary to have shorter class periods in order to break down the continuous stress placed on the students inside the classroom.
Okay, my thesis is the use of personal electronic devices in the classroom is something that, if used correctly, can improve students' education. However, it can also lead to students' distraction and misinformation if it isn't used correctly.
Okay, mine is using personal electronic devices in class has always been problematic for the teacher to keep control of. But if we could find a way to use them efficiently and not excessively, we may be able to boost not only the rate at which students learn, but also increase their scores in the grades.
Education in the future will be here soon, and it is important because the kids are our future, and we must evolve a great education system. The future of humanity is in education and our way of surveillance.
And my final thesis statement is the use of electronic devices in future education will be a such important part due to the fact that it will open to a whole new world of possibilities. It will enable a new way in which students may acquire new knowledge and get in contact with the world.
Okay, so now my few arguments. First, we can't take freedom from our students, and banning cell phones does just that, so I don't think we can ban these cell phones. Second, it's educating children in a way that frees them from electronics while still being able to exploit them is absolutely necessary in order to have a healthy society. And when I say exploit them, I mean the cell phones, not the students. And third, education as of now is very boring, which is why we need to find new ways to stimulate students because they are searching for this lack of stimuli in their cell phones.
Well, my three arguments are that nowadays we live in an era of information where tons of valuable info is at the reach of our hands. However, people can also post and spread those tons of hoaxes. Regulating the use of cell phones isn't enough. This, to the students, feels more as a punishment rather than a regulation, and this is why we should taught instead to the students how to use properly the devices with responsibility. And finally, all the students can learn differently. This is why schools shouldn't rely on technological education, but rather use it as a tool.
Okay, so my arguments, the first one is that we should start teaching students how to properly use technology in order to search for a way to learn rather than searching for the answer. That is, we should teach them how to search or learn because most of the time they use technology just to look straight up for the answer. Second one, instead of using personal electronic devices, which becomes problematic when they say that they prohibit the use of said devices, we should have electronic devices at school that can be monitored and manipulated by the teachers so that they have more control of what the students are doing. And that is so if it is unnecessary at the moment of the class, they could just block it. And the last one is if times change, so do we. That's why we should implement technology in all of our classes because it's the thing that we're doing up to date. And after having learned how to properly use it and not procrastinate with them.
Well, I feel like we should use technology in our favor. We can use it in order to stimulate the kids, because the kids are different, they're not the same. So we can use technology to personalize the education. And also, I like to address that we need to teach the kids to be curious and learn by themselves and not just in the classroom. Also, it is absurd to be strict with the kids, and we need to be more open-minded.
Well, finally, I believe that technology may open to a new world of possibilities that will enable the students to get knowledge in a more interactive way, and technology could make that possible. On the other hand, electronic devices during class make possible the creation of new and more effective ways in which the students can learn. And finally, keeping all the students away from technology will make them hate school instead of liking it.
So, you said in your thesis statement that we can use technology for surveillance. I didn't quite understand.
Let me clear my thesis. What I meant is that education is the future. We're not animals anymore. We use system to. We have a civilization, and education is base, and base is survival.
So you think we? But what you said surveillance.
Surveillance.
Should I just forget it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Diego, you said that the use of electronic devices in classroom is detrimental, but according to surveys that of different colleges around the world, said that the use of electronic devices has boosted the research among the students,
The research?
of new information and knowledge.
Oh, I mean, yeah. If used correctly, I think it definitely is beneficial to the classroom. But as I have experienced personally in my high school, most of the time that students use their cell phones, it's not for their academic purposes. It's just to kill time
Personal reasons.
while they're bored in their classroom. But yeah, I think we should definitely educate the students in order to correct this misuse of these electronics. So yeah, I do think they can be beneficial, but I don't think they are right now.
How do you think this can change?
Oh man, I think it's pretty hard. It's definitely hard to control the students. So I think we should give them complete freedom over what they do with their cell phones, and if they are smart enough, and I think they are, they will realize that using their cell phones for distracting themselves while in class is not the way to go. Like, it's not beneficial for them in any way. So I think they should realize by themselves that they should be using these cell phones for academic purposes. And I do think also that teachers shouldn't mind these students using their cell phones, because if they're good students, they would use them for the class, not for dumb stuff.
Yes, but how can we educate them? That's one question.
No, that's what he's saying. They're
Yes.
not. He's saying teachers shouldn't pay attention to these kids that are not using them in the correct way, so that they themselves figure it out, realize that it's not working either for them or for the teacher, so that they should use the devices for academic reasons.
About education. About education.
Nowadays, in different technology places, for example like Google or Facebook, they have places where they can play or get in contact with the world. So I believe that the using of technology in school may have the same approach. It must help to get also relaxed, not only to study.
So the school should have public press.
Also,
Yes.
so technology can also be used like that in class. No?
Yeah, like have special spaces in order to use technology.
But like not also for the academic reason, but to get relaxed, stress relieved.
Carlos, you said that. Well, I understood that the teachers should have the power to block the technology of the students.
Yeah, well, I said that since most of our arguments talked about personal electronic devices, my idea was to, yes, the kids have their own personal device, but they shouldn't use it in the classroom. The classroom itself should have devices for something. So like you can come in with your cell phone, but you can either use it or not. But for the work, you're gonna have to use the school device. That would be like connected in some way with the computer of the teacher or something like that, so that if one of the students is using that device for something else, it can lock it down.
And with device, you mean like a laptop or a computer or a tablet or what?
It could be any of those, yeah.
Well, in order to make that, the school must have a lot of money.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the downside.
I think money is a big part of this. You know, I believe we are investing in the wrong things. Where, well, I see the games that they have a lot of advertisement because that's how they make their money, right?
Games like sports.
No, like
Self-made.
yes, the apps. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Advertisements.
I don't know. I think we should find like a creative way to induce the kids to play some specific apps, so the investors will put their money on those apps, and you know it will grow.
I think that the problem with those two ideas, the one of Carlos and the one of Andres, is that you are limiting the students' freedom to choose what to do, and they will take it as a punishment rather than a
Help.
rather than a help or and a way to earn. I think that the tech is doing a great job putting the credits so that people can relax there, and they are giving them complete control over it because you can perfectly go anytime there and even skip class if you want. Not that I am recommending that, but yeah, to relieve stress, that's a useful tool.
But the carrot is meant for that to like get get rid of the stress and also have liberties for either workspace or to have fun. That's why that's easy. But my idea was, as I said, have like a separation of your personal device and the school device. You can still use yours, but if you were to use this one for personal reasons, it would get blocked. You can still use yours for personal reasons.
Well, I believe that is not like a good idea because it will need a lot of money to be done, to be accomplished. And I believe that as education, you said that it must be personalized. I believe that that must be true because, for example, a student can go to the class and sometimes he doesn't need to pay attention because he already knows what is being taught. So maybe he's in his cell phone because he's bored and he can give or acquire new knowledge during class while playing or something.
So how do you think that could be done? Like if a student already knows the subject, should he do what?
Education himself.
So how like
Yes, but how will
He
you
could-
guarantee that?
He could learn by himself by playing, he could develop new skills, or he could
But then, why would he attend school?
Yes.
because he wants to learn.
Yes, but
So
but
he
he knows.
attends
He
school
already
to
knows
teach
everything.
himself.
No, not everything.
Take the school as a tool.
That's because that's why education must be personalized.
Because people are doing that. they are getting bored. So
So we should have like a MOOC, but here at school. So like an online course, but in a classroom.
It could be.
And what about the teacher?
No, the students that are like that don't know that subject maybe
But don't you think that?
Okay, no. So like imagine like we have reading class, and if the teacher is teaching
Oh.
subject one and the student already knows that subject, he could go to this school
yeah, to do some online course.
provided by the school and like go forward in the curriculum.
But then he will be wasting money.
No, like the courses would be
available.
available by being at the school. Like the
Yes.
school would promote them. Yeah.
Yeah, so the school would provide this course, but the teacher would also give it. So because I also think it's easier to learn with a teacher
Okay.
than by yourself.
Now I understand. So like, not an online course, but like have the whole course that's gonna be given throughout the semester somewhere else, so that if there's people behind and they're still having like the course, others can still go on.
I think that's a great idea because if you want like to be in class with your teacher because you learn easier with a teacher, it's great. But if you want to like go and learn by yourself with the resources available given by the school, it's also okay.
Yeah, and I think freedom is very important for this to happen because right now teachers are very strict about, well, I mean some teachers are very strict about having cell phones in class. Like if you even pull it out or something,
Yeah.
they will
You're out.
Point at you.
point. But if this is implemented, I think it would be a big step forward in not only education but also freedom because you could be able to choose how you want to learn. And I think that's great because right now you are kind of
Yeah, we'll have to follow
forced
the same.
to do what the school wants you to do.
The only thing that I believe that is a problem is that we must educate students so that they can go to the course instead of playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of the students' responsibility. Like the school can't force you to do what you don't want to do. I mean, at least that's what I think.
How do you think that a school can help those students? Like, not force them, but rather help them.
Which students?
The ones that don't want to, like, the ones that are playing always with their phones and don't pay attention. How do you think the school can, like, help them? Not force them, but help them.
Well, I mean, if you are playing all the time, you will fail the course, right? I mean, the course should be designed in order to fail sounds a little harsh, but yeah, fail the students who don't study or who don't know the course. So I think they should like imagine in first semester you spend all your time playing in your phone and you fail. When you have to repeat that semester, you're not going to do the same thing. I wish.
Do you think that exams should be, like, used with technology? Because people can copy on those exams and still pass
Yeah.
while playing all the day in their cell phones.
Yeah, well, I think the technology can be misused in that way, but I also think that it can be that the way we implement exams can be made much better, like in order to not make it so easy to copy. Like I don't know how, instead of making it like a multiple choice, which can be easily copied, maybe have like them write an essay or something, yeah, open questions that you can't copy. That is it.
Well, I also believe that technology can be used by doing like some tutorials of some subjects so the students can use them to review all what has been seen in class, no?
Like Khan Academy?
Like an academy.
Yeah, basically online courses.
Online courses.
My courses.
Yeah, that's the future. That's yeah. Well, I think I also like to add to this rebuttal that maybe the exams could be like maybe different, you know, not the same. Because since we are also making education different for every kid, then exams should be also different.
Like personalized exams.
Yes, personalized exams.
And how would you do that?
I think just according to their progress and just to according to their progress you can take the information that they know and put it in an exam and I don't know make it a little bit challenging. Here?
Challenging.
Challenging. And yeah.
So, like, if I go to school and I only learn one thing, the exam would only be about that one thing, and I would pass.
I think that instead of that, it should be better that, I don't know, for example, you can choose from 3 questions and write an essay from one of those 3 questions. Or, for example, in topics more like precise, like math or physics, have a bank of problems, not necessarily in computer or with technology, if not all the school, like in paper, so that you write the thinking, the procedure that led you to the answer, and also the procedures should be like qualified, not only the final answer.
So, you think we shouldn't in maths? And
Not in all subjects, like
do it in
yeah.
paper?
Like technology is a tool, but not precisely use it in everything, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's time.
Well, that's
Does someone want to add something?
the closing.
The closure?
Yeah.
Do this?
Do we have closing statement?
Yes.
Oh, really not.
Okay. Okay, so my closing statement is, I think technology can be very beneficial to education. However, it is not right now. And I think we should really take a look at how it can be implemented while still giving students the freedom that they need and that they don't have right now regarding their personal devices.
I think that the use of technology shouldn't be like forced, rather as a tool, and as Diego says, like have the liberty to choose whether you want to study with a teacher in class or with a course in online, so that it's more personalized, and also don't apply technology in all the things, if not rather in use it as a tool. Stay a little bit with like the old school also in writing some paper or not if you don't want to, or have exams in paper, or I don't know, like combine them.
Yeah, well, I also think technology would be good for education, and like you said, we shouldn't have it everywhere, like have the school system based all on the technology, but rather use it as a tool. And I think we should first think about how we're going to implement it before actually implementing it, so that we have already knowledge of how we are going to use it and where.
Yes, I I think the same thing. You already said all the good arguments, so I was gonna say that I'm a man of the old school, you know. I like work, I like paper, you know. But looking at technology, I feel like we should take advantage of it and learn how to use it.
Well, finally, technology is always moving forward and we should work with it. So I believe that technology should be implemented in schools because it could be a tool that could boost the students' development in the school.
Well, that's it.